content becoming more important. We're seeing that with the growing power of Netflix and Amazon. Netflix's new film, Bird Box, brought 80 million viewers in its first month. Amazon Prime now reaching over 100 million users in the United States alone. Joining me right now in a Fox Business exclusive is Entertainment Media Ventures President, Sandy Climan. Sandy, it's great to see you.
Thank you, Maria. And there's nothing like a brisk alpine breeze to get the creative juices flowing.
Yes, it's true. Here we are. It is pretty cold, though. But look, this has to be an incredible moment for you and your business. Here we are once again talking about content is king, but you've got the likes of Netflix spending what, $12, $13 billion on content?
And Amazon not far behind.
Right.
It is truly a new golden age in entertainment. And the exciting part is that we have the greatest writers turning out the greatest scripts. And once upon a time, we tried to, dumb everything down because we wanted 4 quadrants of entertainment. Right now, I think Hollywood has finally figured out 2 things. One, that the audience is really hungry for smart entertainment. And it's engaging. If we have on-demand entertainment, and if it doesn't emotionally grab you, they just move.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, we're in a global system. When I was growing up, if you had a subtitled movie, 1 theater in New York, maybe 1 theater in L.A. Now, Fauda, Narcos, it's a global entertainment world that is not just Hollywood. It's being driven by the greatest writers, and they come from everywhere.
Yeah, it's a great point. Let's look at and navigate the competitive race that is on. Netflix just raised prices. They also said recently the company is more focused on YouTube and the video game Fortnite than on Amazon. Your thoughts there?
I think what they're really saying is, we're all competing for the consumer's time and money and time and attention. And I think we're going to see all of these companies, whether it is Netflix, Amazon, whether it's Disney with Fox, whether it's Comcast and how they evolve. We're going to see other competitors come in the market, and what they're going to basically want to do is understand the consumer and provide them the best entertainment, whether it's video, games. They are going to find out how to satisfy, how to program the day, how to enrich their lives.
Yeah, but first, when Netflix first came on the scene, they were alone. I mean, they were there, and it was a new thing. Everybody bought into it. Then comes Amazon. When Disney comes out and all these other streaming companies that come, gets a lot more competitive. Maybe that's why Netflix is saying it's raising prices now, not when all the other competitors are in its face.
Well, when you look at the quality of entertainment coming out of Netflix and Amazon, it is absolutely stunning. And Hulu and others. What people are talking about are these new series, these brilliantly written. They can be however long they are, 8 episodes for Godless. When you think about the complexity of making The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I mean, it's stunning.
So what's the most important thing these companies need to do to attract that consumer time, in your view? I know you consult and advise many of these companies.
Well, what they need to do is, one is content is king. And that what we've learned in terms of content is king, what we've learned with content is king is that the writer is also one of the true generals. We used to just allow a script to go. Right now, if the words are not there driving the actors, the director is not making this something that engages. So you have to do that. The other thing you have to do is be in regular daily conversation, not just touch, but conversation, understanding everyone in your database. We are headed towards a world where we serve the consumer very personally.
What about, let's move on to the Oscars. The show must go on. Kevin Hart out as the Oscar host. The Academy says it will have no host for the first time since 1989. The nominations are coming out today, 8:20 a.m. Eastern. Michael Tamaro said that last week they should have no host. That's where they're going. What are your predictions?
Well, if you go back to the original sort of sense of community that was the Motion Picture Academy and the Academy Awards, it was a bunch of people sitting around tables having a good time together. It wasn't a show. It was a celebration of movies. I think maybe that's what we're going to see again this year. Again, this community really is a community. It's now a global community. When you see Rami Malek win the Golden Globe for Best Actor for portraying Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, you see the change in the business. I think basically let the stars run the show as opposed to someone who is the ringmaster for the stars.
I like the idea. Okay, I really liked A Star is Born. I hope A Star is Born is up there for a few awards.
I'm sure A Star Is Born will be up there for a few awards.
Who's #1 Best Picture in your view?
There's no way to tell. All I can tell you is that every time there is a surprise, and I think the Golden Globes, hopefully or maybe, is a harbinger for the Oscars. It may be so dispersed throughout so many companies, and what that does is it just encourages risk-taking in terms of really taking on some important stories and some, really, wonderful things like A Star Is Born. There's a lot in A Star Is Born.
There's big money. If one film, like if A Star Is Born wins an Oscar, does that give it added lift after the Oscars? How significant is an Oscar win for these movies after the show?
Well, in the old days, sometimes it would lift it, sometimes it wouldn't. I think these days, with social media, what you're going to see with the award winners is it's just going to spread more virally why people should see these award-winning films. When we saw Moonlight, I mean, again, not a lot of people had seen Moonlight. People went to see Moonlight. But, the nice part when you bring up A Star Is Born and you see what Bradley Cooper did with Lady Gaga,
wow,
it's just unbelievable. And you see
his director debut.
His director debut. But the thing that I think is wonderful, whether it's a directorial debut like Bradley Cooper or a star turn like Lady Gaga or others, you look through the films that will be nominated, all new faces, a lot of new faces, and the wonderful part of the business today, the wonderful part of these news platforms is we are discovering talent that is really we would have never found before, and we experiment with great stories, with innovative, with people taking risks on new talent, and that's what's paying off in the films you're seeing.
And new technology. Some of this stuff is also interactive. Sandy, it's great to have you.
Thank you for having me here, and good luck. Thank you.
Good to see you. Sandy Climan joining us there.